as I see that you already are some connected in this phase, maybe I will invite you to use this tool that is called Mentimeter. So I would kindly invite you to use your phones to go on Menti, www.menti.com, and use this code 528936 in order to have a short survey to see where are you from, basically, and which are the participants at this session. So menti.com, www.menti.com, and use the code 528936. We have Romania here, we have Spain, we have Ireland, Lithuania, Slovenia, Germany, Denmark as well, UK, Czech Republic. Very nice, very diverse audience, I think. We are glad to see that Europe is with us here. We will wait 2 minutes more and then we can start. Just to give you a brief presentation about the agenda today. So in 2 minutes, we'll have a kind introduction and welcoming from Anne-Marie Sassen, that is from Digi Communication Networks, Content and Technology, and Javier Echari, that is EBN CEO. Then we'll have a presentation of CAST project to set the framework of this activity of CAST Hackathon. This will be presented by Helena Dean from OSBIC. And as well, afterward, we'll have, of course, the presentation of CAST Virtual Hackathon, and I will present myself this, and you'll see all the actions that we have and how you can be involved in the event. And that in the last session, in the last part, we will have a Q&A, and there you can send us your recommendations or questions on chat. I think that we can already start. It's 11:35, so I would kindly invite Anne-Marie Sassen to say a few words about how the Commission is supporting the DEH in this period, and what kind of activities are planned in collaboration with you, and which is the purpose actually of having this meeting as well with you today. Anne-Marie, if I would kindly.
Thank you very much, Florian. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy that you could connect to this webinar, and that you are also interested then in supporting companies from the tourism sector to help them with their digital transformation. Because one thing that we have learned from the COVID crisis is that now many restaurants, well, they needed to be closed, so they started very quickly with a website to be able to have takeaway meals, or they found some other creative solution through which they could still continue to work, well, most probably survive during the months where they did not have any work. But what we will know for sure is that this sector will need much more digital tools in the future than what they needed in the past. For instance, if you think about they would need to hotels, they would need to clean much more or in different ways to make sure that when the next guests come in the hotel room, every possible instance of the virus would be removed. Restaurants, they might need digital menus. They would need ways to register who is in their restaurant at a certain time in case an infection breaks out, that they can warn the other people. So there are many things that need to happen. And our commissioner, Breton, he saw here an important role for the digital innovation hubs to help the tourism sector, let's say, cope with the new realities that they have to live with and to help them adopting the right digital tools for them. And in the, so he was the driving force behind a commission communication, which was published in May about the tourism sector. And there he also said that the Digital Innovation Hub should organize a hackathon to help dedicated to the tourism sector so that new solutions would be developed and there would be a way that more companies in the tourism sector could use all these solutions and that they could start the tourism sector, the tourism season, which is starting now, and then that they can still have, let's say, a decent business this year or as good as it can be. Of course, everything will be different, but all these companies, they now need to adapt to this change. So I was really very happy to come across this CAST project who was organizing a hackathon for the tourism sector, and from the 1st to the 3rd of July. And therefore, today, I'm happy also the Digital Innovation Hubs connected and that we can discuss what could be your role in this hackathon. So I would see a role like, well, there are 3 types of things that happen during the hackathon. First of all, there are the challenges. So what are the problems the companies are facing at the moment? There are the solutions which can be provided by startups or other solution providers. And then there are, of course, the mentors who would help the good solutions to grow further and to become a reality, products and services that can be used by the tourism sector. So I would see a role of the Digital Innovation Hubs in all these areas. And at the end of the meeting, after you've heard the presentation of Javier and of Helena, we could discuss then what your role could be and how this then could work for the hackathon. So with this, I now want to give the word to Javier for further. Oh yeah, I want to say one more thing. So our commissioner, Breton, he is already expecting a lot of the digital innovation hubs, and he sees them in all kinds of roles, really helping the recovery of the economy. So I hope we will all together be able to deliver on that. Over to you now, Javier.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. No pressure coming directly from the commissioner. We'll
Yeah.
do as well as we can. Well, thank you everyone for taking part in this quick info session about the hackathon organized by CAST project. Because you are all coming from a very diverse backgrounds and different organization types, digital innovation hubs, EUBICs, and some other types of organizations, I wanted to take 2 minutes just to very, very briefly explain to you, those of you that don't know it, what we are, why we are collaborating here. And the EUBICs, the EU Business Innovation Centers, were set up by the Commission, actually, in the early 80s. And the purpose was to make sure that there was support for startups and SMEs and all kinds of companies to embrace the changes that were happening in the economy. It was all about innovation. Now, that innovation from the early 80s to the innovation today has changed tremendously. What has not changed is the need for those startups and SMEs to get support, They need to get support regionally, locally, and that needs to be connected to what is happening around the world, in Europe for sure, but beyond that. They need to know what's happening elsewhere, and that connection element is fundamental. So the EU BICs remain regional. They do that support. They continue doing that since the early 80s. EBN as their network, we make sure that they are all connected at the European level and beyond the European level. And we make sure that they are connected to other EU initiatives. EBN works with multitude of different initiatives, some of them sectorial, some of them generalistic, some of them is about skills and tools, some of them are about access to finance, and some others are like this CAST initiative on smart tourism. We do work without the Commission as well. We are not financed by the Commission, so we work quite a little bit without the Commission, with other initiatives that we launch ourselves. For example, with EBAN, with the European Business Angel Network, we have launched the Mondays for Innovation, where companies from the whole EBN network pitch to the EBAN network of investors. Just to give you an example of things that we do as a network and things that we do as EU BICs set up in the region. Many EU BICs are digital innovation hubs, or they are part of larger groupings that are digital innovation hubs. And you know that from those larger list of digital innovation hubs, Anne-Marie and the team and others are going to be selecting the European digital innovation hubs with whom they are going to work closer in the beginning. And we hope that that list is going to increase progressively across the years and fulfill those goals and vision of Commissioner Breton. So we are very happy to be part of that. We are pushing all the remaining members that are not yet digital innovation hubs to get involved, to either candidate themselves or be part of an existing group or candidate together with others. And we are very happy to launch this very first initiative that we do together with the digital innovation hubs, this CAST initiative. And we hope this is going to be the first of many other potential synergies that we find at working together and being more efficient at mobilizing all the networks and all the resources. So that's it for me. I think we should go into the core business of today.
Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. Thank you very much, Javier. So yes, in regards to our different activities, it's important to see that even within CAST, we have different workshops, different activities. It is not only the hackathon, and I will maybe let Helena Dean in this phase to tell you all about our activities within CAST, and then we'll have the focus on the hackathon. So please, Helena, the floor.
Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you, Javier and Anne-Marie, for the introduction. My name is Helena Dean. I'm from Westvic, which is an EU BIC based in the west of Ireland, and we are also a member of the EBN network. And are coordinating the CAST project, which stands for Creative Accelerators for Sustainable Tourism. So I'll just give you a little bit of a background for the hackathon and who we are as a project and as the partnership. So CAST is a 3-year collaborative project. We are a little bit more than halfway through. The project is being implemented by a partnership of 9 partners from 8 countries, which you see on our lovely tree here. And our focus is on developing a network of incubators and accelerators. So the focus is in connecting different actors in the tourism ecosystems, including startups, SMEs, and financiers, the investment community, and creating opportunities and addressing common challenges together by using technology, foremost creative technologies, collaborating across borders for sustainable tourism, where we are guided by the 17 UN Development Sustainable Goals. So at the very, very heart of the project is supporting startups and SMEs, and originally the focus was on growth strategies, internationalization strategies, access to new market strategies, and similar. But of course, with the advent of COVID, we had to pivot some of our thinking. So I'll just tell you briefly about our objectives. So the original objectives, strangely enough, were quite adaptable to the new scenario. So although the context changed, a lot of the things that we were trying to achieve remain valid, but have taken on another dimension. So we were talking about revitalizing tourism attractions and destinations, and the original thinking was more along the lines of regional disparities, urban-rural divides, traditional versus more digitalized tourism companies, still focused on diversification of products and services, about new experiences, innovation, engaging visitors in new ways, using creative technology, but also revitalizing existing tourism SMEs, which links in with the Digital Innovation Hub remit, where we're looking at digitalizing those that haven't yet tapped into digital technology spectrum, and encouraging private-public partnerships in the area of tourism, and foremost also the exchange of knowledge and experience, just to create a better business supports. And as said, this was all guided by the idea of developing smarter tourism, more digital, more connected, and also more sustainable, as I said, in the light of the 17 UN Development Sustainability Goals. And as I said, while the context was very different when we started the project, now we are obviously looking to address all these ideas again, but addressing the new reality, which is that we have gone from over-tourism, which was one of the aspects we were trying to address, to zero tourism in some worst cases. And I will just briefly show you our activities and our COVID response to that. So obviously what we're talking about today is the hackathon. We had originally foreseen a creative tech tourism hackathon, which was focusing more as a main theme on digitalization, but now it also has the COVID-19 recovery reboot tourism angle. So we were able to incorporate our thinking to address some of the challenges that we're facing now. So as I said, from the situation where over-tourism was one of the main topics really in the project, to where we are now looking, how do we reboot tourism, how do we help these startups and SMEs. So the focus shifting from growth, from scaling to really, you know, survival and kind of pivoting in the current environment. So we have a number of other activities, such as investment forums. We are talking to the investment communities, you know, trying to sensitize them to the current situation, trying to keep them interested and on board. For investment in this space, in the space of tourism, we have some locational challenges and some regional bootcamps where we'll be looking at the problematic of COVID and the impact it has on the startups and SMEs, and help develop new business models where it is appropriate, because no one size fits all. So it will be appropriate for some companies, it will not be appropriate for all, looking at different strategies and techniques in helping these companies cope with the current economic situation, and also changes which will inevitably come in the sort of tastes, expectations and attitudes of the tourists. So this is all something that's very new, and it's still moving and shifting, and that we are trying to address. And also, as Anne-Marie mentioned, the very much new focus, although we already had digitalization as focus, it's coming even more sharper. into our view, because as said, a lot of companies were forced to adopt new technologies much faster than they would under normal circumstances. So we hope to combine all our learning that we had in the project to date. We are talking to a large number of stakeholders in the tourism industry, and we are delighted to now also work with the Digital Innovation Hub in constructing a response that is, relevant and has the desired impact. So this is, feel free obviously to connect with us on any level if you have any questions, if you want to get involved in any of our activities, if you have startups and SMEs that you think might benefit from the supports we offer in the project, please feel free to engage in dialogue. We welcome it very much. So I will hand over at this stage to Florian, who will give you the details about the hackathon, how it will work, how we are looking to engage with the digital innovation hubs, and then we can open the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Helena. Thank you for this global picture that you provided on CAST project. And I think that it's important for all the digital innovation hubs and attendees to today's session to see that we are providing activities even beyond this this hackathon for your companies and for digital innovation hubs. So please feel free as well to integrate the project. So right now, I will basically present you the structure that we have for the CAST Virtual Hackathon. It will be taking place from 1st of July to 3rd of July. And yeah, we are focusing on rebooting tourism, on restarting tourism activities, and on finding new business models to companies. So we are structuring the activities around two challenges. Business continuity, obviously, because we have seen that the industry is heavily impacted right now after the pandemic, and we are searching for new products or service ideas in order to see how we can restart the tourism operations and how we can ensure responsible and secure tourism experience. For example, solutions that are related with crowd management, social distancing, supervision systems, smart booking systems. We are open, of course, to different solutions. And the second challenge is new sustainable business models, because we have observed as well that companies are impacted in regards to their financing models as well, in regards to their stakeholders. Maybe right now they have to broaden a bit the collaborations that they have with their key partners and key actors, and we want to see how, for example, companies can identify new ideas to create, deliver, and capture value, how they can create better strategic connections between public and private sectors, and how they can communicate about their new solutions. So these are actually the challenges. We are mentioning a couple of details in regards to the solutions, but obviously we are open to receiving any solutions that relate to this. In regards to the agenda, is basically 2 days and a half event. We are going to start on July 1st in the beginning of the afternoon with an opening session with speakers. We hope to have the European Commission as well. And it's important to note that this event, it will be organized within a more global event, that it's a 1-week event. Bright 20, it is called, that our partner, our CAST partner, Creative Business Network, organizes. So yes, basically the companies, the teams that will be registering to this hackathon will have free access to the CBN, Creative Business Network event as well. Then, yeah, after the opening sessions with speakers, we will give the opportunity to teams to understand the problem and the solution, basically to see on which part, on which challenge they are going to work. We'll have as well an ideation workshop in order to give the teams the possibility to reflect about the solution, to brainstorm ideas, and to organize workflow activities in order to collaborate. And in the late afternoon, the teams will be working on their solutions. On day 2, we'll have a first checkpoint. This means that the teams and persons that register for the hackathon will meet the mentors. We try to help the teams with the mentors if the teams have some challenges, obstacles, blocking points where they cannot advance basically on their solution. Here we put them in contact with mentors. The teams are requested to explain their idea, the problem that is tackled in the solution provided. We want to see who is doing what in the team and what is the action plan, and any issues, if there are in the development of the idea, the mentors can support on that, and we can organize one-to-one telcos or discussions to the Slack tool that we're going to use during the hackathon. As well, we have here a business development and validation workshop. Basically, here we are going to offer the teams the possibility to work on their business modeling, canvas, and the lean management activities in order to develop a first version of their product. And we hope that at the end of the second day, the teams can already identify solutions and start working on their business case and pitch. That will happen in the third day. On the third day, we'll have a second and final checkpoint with the mentors. We will see if there are any last problems where we can help. We'll have as well a pitching workshop, a workshop for the teams in order to help them pitch effectively. And in the afternoon of the third day, we'll have a closing session where the teams will pitch their solutions in around 3 minutes. Then we'll have some jury questions and feedback, and the evaluation that will happen at the end. And at the end of the third day, we'll also announce the winners. In regards to the participation, as I said, this is going to be organized within a more broad event that is called Bright 20, that our Creative Business Network partner is organizing. The participation in the CAS Hackathon is free of charge, and the participants can register to both events. The participation is open to anyone related with tourism industry. So we are searching for hackers, business professionals, developers, designers, coaches, and so on, mentors, speakers. So both your companies can participate, but also yourself as digital innovation hubs, you can be involved, because you can act as mentors, as evaluators, or as speakers during the event. The teams can register until June 24th, and yeah, the teams can be can consist of 1 to 6 persons basically. In regards to the evaluations, we want the solutions to be practical, so basically to identify a societal need. We want them to be original, so we are asking some kind of innovation. We want that these solutions, at least they did, and maybe if they were implemented before, we want to see some kind of advancement in this phase of the hackathon. We want to see that the solutions will benefit to some target, and we want the solutions to also to be sustainable, to be scalable, and to see that there can be some progress after the event. These are some informations about the evaluation, but we'll share the slides afterwards. And maybe in regards to the DH role in the hackathon, we wanted to suggest you some ideas, but of course you are free to suggest others as well. So we see you as speakers involved in the hackathon. We see you also as mentors or jury members for the hackathon. Also, of course, we we'll kindly ask you to support this activity and this event by disseminating it within your ecosystem. And for example, an idea would be also for you to propose a new challenge if you think that those that we have suggested, business continuity and sustainable business models, are not enough for your members as well. And of course, something that we suggest as well is to integrate the previous teams in other hackathons that you might have organized in the touring sector in this hackathon. So you can see that there are different suggestions, different ideas on how we can involve you. And if I focus on each one of them a bit more, you can be involved as speakers, for example, in the first day, in order to set the tone for the hackathon, to give some feedback from the industries, from the companies that you have, and in order to give some potential solutions. So some ideas for the teams that are already participating. If they do not have, maybe they can take your input at that phase. This is for the speakers section and recommendation, suggestions. Then we can have you as mentors and jury members. So here we would need you maybe to support teams on different specific problems or topics. Maybe they're asking mentors to they have some blocking issues on developing their solutions, on working on their business model, on identifying additional financing. So we are requesting you, depending on their needs, we are putting them in contact with you directly. And the main goal, as I mentioned before, is to help the teams if they're getting stuck somewhere, and to provide them with actionable advice in order to deliver at the end of the hackathon a working prototype of, if not maybe a proof of concept at least. In regards to the dissemination, we are asking you to share the information. We can also send you even more dissemination information, so you can share within your ecosystem. So maybe you can invite people from your network to integrate the hackathon. As I said before, hackers, business professional, designers, and other coaches, for example, or mentors within your network. Also, we are obviously open to new suggestions in regards to new challenges. Here, we are at 2 weeks from the event, so if you have this kind of ideas, you have to suggest them quickly in order to organize them, because a challenge requires as well a prize in the so we want to see how you can, which kind of ideas you have in regards to new challenges, and which kind of prices we could offer to the teams if this is your idea. As well, as I mentioned, if you ran hackathons in the past, we can invite the teams to take part to this hackathon in order to further develop their idea, in order to develop a prototype solution at the end of the hackathon. So yes, this was the presentation basically on the hackathon. Then I will kindly invite you to go again on the menti.com and use the code that is shown on the screen to share your ideas as well. In regards to how you wish to contribute to the CAS hackathon. So we have these options. If you wish to disseminate, as I mentioned before, if you wish to propose a new challenge, if you wish to be a speaker, if you wish to be a mentor, in this phase we will be interested to see how you wish to take part in this event. So I would kindly ask you to go on menti.com and use this code that we have 528936 www.menti.com and use the code 528936. We can wait a bit more for the answers. We can see that what comes on top is your desire to disseminate within your ecosystem. So thank you very much. As well, it's great that you want to be an evaluator, you wish to be a mentor and the speaker, and on the last on the last point it comes you wishing to propose a new challenge. So thank you very much for this. We will keep this in mind when we are going to follow up with you, and obviously we will see how we can collaborate on this dissemination, on you being a mentor, evaluator, a speaker, or proposing a new challenge. Yes, this was in regards to the workshops. We have the details in the slides. If you want, I will not pass through all the details about the workshops that I mentioned, but it's important to see that the companies are being backed up. If they don't have business experience, if they do not have ideas, they are being backed up by mentors. And of course, they can make part as a follow-up action. They can make part of past project. So if you want to, we can pass directly to the Q&As. I will have a look in the conversation chat. Please address your questions here. If you have any questions in regard to what was presented before, if you have any suggestions and recommendations, if you would want us to address any other topics that was not addressed during this webinar, this is the moment for you to tell us.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi, Florian. Can you hear me?
Hi, Ignacio. Yes,
Hi.
please.
Very nice to meet you. Ask you something. Actually, I have a comment. First of all, let me introduce myself. I work for Eurecat, the technology center of Catalonia, and we are based in different spots across Catalonia in the northeastern part of Spain, as you know. We have in the past worked in a number of hackathons, specifically working on tourism. And recently, just before the confinement, we were working on one of them as a mentor, as a speaker, as an evaluator. Some of my teams, not only one person, of course. And I think it's a very important point, just what you were saying before, to define what is the price, because it can be really a claim for really good, inspirational people to come and take part in this hackathon. So that is a point that I think is key to define, so that you could really get a lot of good insights, and people will really definitely be motivated. Yeah, and of course, excited to hear this initiative. Although it's a little bit too rushed, because I think in 2 weeks we'll have to really sort a lot of issues and a lot of basic answer a lot of questions. But I'm definitely my team and I, who basically are 3 people connected right now. From Eurecat, we are happy to take part in this initiative. So good job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ignacio. We are happy to be collaborating with you. We are collaborating at BN in different projects with Eurecat. So happy to have you on board as well. And in regards to prizes, we didn't mention, but yes, one of the prizes is the participation, the free participation to the global event, the CB, the Creative Business Network it's organizing. So 1 week activities in regards to different workshops, investment readiness activities that are there, tourism related activities and workshops that we have. We also have as a prize the free entrance to the Creative Business Network next year event, physical event we hope, and the free entrance at the EBN Congress next year, and possibilities for companies or teams that will be created to organize B2Bs with investors, corporates in our events, in our future events, and as well an investment readiness workshop that we are organizing within CAST, and the possibility afterwards for the teams to be pitching to actual investors after the work. So there are several prizes, several packages, and we already set them for the hackathon. In regards to the questions that I'm seeing on the chat, do you have special timing to receive speakers? Obviously, as Ignacio said as well, the timing is quite short. We are expecting to have your input as quick as possible. So we are going to follow up just after this webinar to see which is your interest in which area and how you can get involved. In regards to the speakers, we will need you to express your availability this week. So this is the timing. Another question. Yeah, we are interested in further collaboration with CAST. Jan says, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jan. Is there a dissemination package that we can put on social media pages? Yes, there is. And in the following up email that when we are going to send you this registration, this recording, sorry, and the slides of this webinar, we are going to put also more information in regards to the communication toolkit that we have, visuals that we have that we can share on social media and so on. So you can be, we will be happy to share that with you. Lydia was asking, just was that what I mentioned before, the stake for the participants, the chance for the ideas to be funded. Not right away, of course, because we are speaking about proof of concepts, prototypes. So basically what we want to offer to these teams is to offer them the possibility to further develop their ideas by integrating them in an overall program within CAST, within Creative Business Network, and within our events that we are going to organize at TBN. Right away, maybe they will not receive direct financing from investors, but afterwards, we expect at least the winning teams to be connected with investors. Other questions? Sergio from Aragon, which has the touring ski. We are very interested in collaborating with INCAST. Thank you, Sergio. Yes, very much interest to collaborate with INCAST. The DH in Malaga will wish to participate as one university teacher will wish to participate from the DH in Malaga. It is open. As also what we wanted to underline is that the hackathon is not only open to technology hackers or to technology savvy persons, but also to different public stakeholders, because we consider that the diversity is key in generating ideas and solutions. So you are very open to participate, and the team in itself will propose a solution that might be technical, but you can also provide your input there. So do not hesitate to join and attend to the hackathon. In regards to the expected time slot for mentors, that is going to, basically it's each day, no, not each day, on 2nd of July and 3rd of July from 10 to 12 at least, It depends on your availabilities. It depends on the team's need, because what we want to do is to do a matchmaking between the needs and the competencies of mentors. But we are requesting you to be available on one of the 2 days. So basically on 2nd of July from 10 to 12 at least, or on 3rd of July from 10 to 12 at least. And if you are available to offer more time, you are free, of course, to rest to stay on both days, during the whole days. Maybe. George, that is saying that they will inform the agricultural DH. Yes, thank you very much, George. Are you looking for students to participate from Laure Anton from Angers Tourist Lab? Thank you very much for the question. So, as I said before, as in the case of Malaga, we are not blocking participation from students. We are not blocking participation from teachers. We have seen that many DHs are universities. Again, I think that diversity is key, and the different competencies might develop richer products, richer solutions. So students are also invited to participate. I think I covered a bit the questions. At this point, do you have any other queries or any other questions, recommendations? It is something else that we maybe didn't cover that you want to find out now?
Next steps, Florian, perhaps if you cover those.
Yes, of course, Helena. Next steps will be following up with you after this webinar. So basically sending you the slides, sending you the recordings, again mentioning the possibilities that exist for you. If you want to be a mentor, we are going to send you a link to register as a mentor. If you want to be a speaker, we will be kindly inviting you to send us this wish, because we will not have a lot of speakers, but because we'll have only from one hour and a half in the introduction section on the first day, so no need for registration from that point. But yeah, you can express this wish directly by email. And obviously, as I said, we are going to send you all the communication toolkit that you can use for the dissemination, and all the visuals that you can use for your social networks and for the companies that are in your ecosystem.
Will we give, what is the email? Is that going to be included with the slides and the recording, what email they should contact?
The question is when we are going to send the email. I suppose that we are going to send the email tomorrow. It depends.
No, what email they should contact for subscribers,
yes.
mentors, and
the email is the same email that you are going to receive all the follow-up information from. So it will be basically my email. I'm going to put it here in the chat, but you are going to also receive a follow-up email from this address. So it's florian.sora@ebn.eu. I'm going to put it in the chat right away. Yeah, this is it. So if you have any questions until tomorrow, you can also address them to this email. We can also have bilateral conversations if you need. I'm free and I have time slots allocated to this, so do not hesitate to request some individual bilateral calls if you need more information.
May I
yes,
add something on the prices, or it's not really a price, but you could also consider that the winners of this hackathon, they could be mentioned in speeches of Commissioner Breton, for instance, or he could say something about it in general. Of course, I don't know, but we could put it in his speeches. I don't know if he will take it, but that is certainly something that we would do at our level. And what you could also think, because somebody wrote, can we involve our municipality? I think the municipality, they could very much be involved in defining the challenge, and maybe they would also be interested in procuring the solution, for instance, because if it's something that really addresses their challenge, maybe they would like to follow up with funding that they have from to respond to the COVID crisis with doing a local project. So things like that could also happen. So all depending on the quality, on how well it addresses certain problems, try to involve then also the problem owner who could also help to make this a reality further if you are in contact with them, and make them part of the team. And then who knows if these solutions are good and useful, they could be brought somehow to life, because you also have the problem owner involved.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, definitely, and thank you for these suggestions. It would be great if the commissioner could obviously mention these solutions, and we definitely welcome the public authorities in this. We have seen that we had a couple of registrations already from public authorities, so we are keen on understanding more the challenges on local level. So as we mentioned, if you have suggestions of new challenges, we are welcome to receive and to get them and to put them in the program. So of course, if you are in contact with public authorities that are active in this sector, and I'm sure that they are in this context, you can also put us in contact with them to understand better if they will want to participate to this event, and if they have any challenges that they would want to put on the table. I'm looking on the chat to see if I missed something. Yeah, I think that I covered it all. Maybe, as I said, we are always available on the email, on the phone, to exchange more in details with you or with your companies, with your public authorities, with the stakeholders that you might consider that they can be involved in the event. So please do not hesitate to contact us, to support us, and to be part of this event that we consider that could give your companies more visibility, but also to your digital innovation hubs and stakeholders organizations, because it's an European event, because we will have the European Commission involved as well, because we have many follow-up activities that are interesting for your company and for yourself. And yeah, please be welcome to participate.
And if I may make one more final remark, because somebody said it's now a rush, it's only 2 weeks until the event. That's absolutely true. It is a rush, but on the other hand, it is now that the tourism season is starting again. It's only now that the borders are opening. People are starting to book their vacation. So if we come with this hackathon in October, it is just too late for this tourism season. So that is also something very important to keep in mind, that we are trying to offer solutions that are also quickly deployable to reboot tourism and to be already applicable this summer.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that the hackathon teams that are participating in hackathon, they have these, they are used to these tight deadlines. We have seen that there were hackathons that were organized in less than 2 weeks. We started a bit earlier. We still have 2 weeks more with a team that is highly motivated, TBN, and as well the coordination level. There are different stakeholders involved in this. So I think that we can do a very, very nice event, even if we have only 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
So
I think so
let's
too.
reboot the tourism together. Yes. Okay, anyone wishes to make any final comment before closing this? If not, thank you very much to all the attendees to this session. Very nice to have all this rich participation. We have seen that you are almost 70, so thanks a lot. We're very happy to have you on this session. So let's follow up on the email. Yes, I know that I'm repeating myself, but please do not hesitate to get in touch afterwards to exchange about your participation and about your ecosystem, stakeholders, and companies. So we'll be happy to have you involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Javier, Florian, Helena. I think this was a very good session. Thank you to all the digital innovation hubs to connect and to see how you could participate to this event.
Happy to do that. Thank you, Marie. Bye-bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, and keep in touch.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.